Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is Thursday the 8th of November, and we've just been to see Hadestown. Open the house. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Jim Bobolob.
I think we were saying recently that we haven't been seeing a musical for ages.
Do you know what? I think we might have said that.
Well, we've been to see one tonight, haven't we?
We have, haven't we?
Yeah. How you doing anyway? You okay?
Yeah, I'm right, thanks.
You've got a bit of a creaky table.
I know. Now I'm trying to make it creak and it's not working.
You should get yourself a new table.
I've got a lovely vintage table.
Yeah, but it's worn out. Can you hear that?
It's not worn out. It's because you're leaning on it overly heavily.
Go to IKEA, pick yourself up something nice.
Not going IKEA, mate.
Really?
Nah.
Follow that yellow line. I hate IKEA.
No, it's not my
Unless
favourite.
you want to send me some stuff IKEA, then I love you.
I like some things from IKEA. Very much.
Well, we could write a list for them if they get into contact.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we've been seeing Hadestown at the National Theatre.
Uh-huh.
It was directed by Rachel Chevkin.
Yeah.
It was written by Anais Mitchell, and that's also, she did the music and she wrote the book.
She did all the things.
Yes.
She's so greedy.
And it's running until January 2019.
Uh-huh.
And I should say it's come over from a place called New York.
New York.
It's come over from Broadway.
Oh, man, not New York.
Yeah. So, Vix, do you want to give us a bit of a synopsis?
Right, so it's based on a Greek myth about Orpheus and Eurydice, who are sort of two doomed lovers.
Uh-huh.
But it's set not in modern times. When would you think it was?
The 60s?
I'd say maybe a bit, maybe the 50s.
The 50s.
And so these two characters meet, fall in love, and then...
It's set like in New Orleans in the 50s, isn't it?
Yeah. Did they specify New Orleans?
No, but I kind of felt... I've been to New Orleans twice,
those vibes.
and I'll tell you what, it reminded me of New Orleans.
Had the vibes?
Had the vibes.
Okay, great. So Eurydice is not having a great time. She's cold and hungry. She ends up doing a deal with this guy called Hades, who...
well, he's a devil,
He's
basically.
like the lord of the king of the underground, the underworld. And so she goes and lives down there, and then Orpheus has to try and rescue her.
And it's a good story, isn't it?
It's a classic, one would say.
Yeah, but they made it into a musical.
They have made it into a musical.
And before it started, I was kind of joking to you, wasn't I, going, it's going to be like Hadestown, Hadestown.
Yeah.
And it kind of was a bit.
There wasn't there? We're going down to Hadestown,
Yeah.
which I think might have been my favourite song.
I think so too. All right, so what did you think? First thoughts?
Well, I felt it was a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
I really loved... There was a guy who... Hermes. Isn't he like... When I think of Hermes, I think of the courier Hermes. He's like a sort of courier guy.
Yeah, he's got Hades' agent, really.
Yeah, so he was sort of like the narrator.
Yeah.
And I thought he was fantastic.
Yes.
Loved his little numbers.
Really
his dance
blue,
moves.
soulful singer, wasn't he?
Yeah, really lovely, sort of older gent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
And also Persephone, who was Hades' wife.
Yeah, she was
She
great.
came, so every year she would come during the summer months because she brought the summer basically
Yeah.
and had a great time with everybody. Everyone was drinking and having flowers in
Yeah.
their hair and stuff. She was rich, she had loads of spunk, I
was going to say razzmatazz.
Razzmatazz is better.
Yeah. Her and Hades were sort of a bit at the end of their tether with each other, weren't they?
Yeah, they kind of
happy.
fallen out of love, which is why I was kind of interested in Orpheus?
Eurydice is the girl one.
Right, okay. Yeah, I get a bit confused.
I know that because when I was at university we did a play called Eurydice in the Underworld.
I know, I remember I came to see it.
Yeah,
It was
it's
very
great.
confusing.
Yeah, what I particularly liked is at the end of that, everyone got the same mark apart from me, who got a little bit lower.
But you're not bitter.
I'm absolutely not bitter about that.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. What did you think of the music?
Again, a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
You had a bit of a problem with Orpheus, didn't you?
Oh, God, yeah. He was, like, really just wailing away, wasn't he?
Brian Adams.
Yeah. There was one bit where he was doing a solo and with his guitar, and it was like a Brian Adams concert.
He had quite a sort of rock voice, didn't he?
But it wasn't a very good voice, and his falsetto was awful.
Yeah.
And he did that a lot.
Yeah. I couldn't. His running I found really amusing.
Oh,
he kept running. They had like a revolving stage, didn't they? And he kept running around the edge of it, and I just couldn't take him seriously.
I think this is the problem with all of it, because sometimes when they use a revolving stage, it worked really well.
Yeah.
So there was a bit when they were down in the underworld, Hadestown, and they were all like working because they all had to work all the time.
Yeah.
And that looked really good. But then other times when like he was running, it was like a Muppet in Fraggle Rock, trying to keep up with them. It was stupid.
One of my friends once described someone's dancing as a monkey in a frying pan. And I feel that's quite apt.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I think the music was the same. Every now and then you got a really good song.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, this isn't bad, but there wasn't enough to kind of cling to, and some of it was like, oh, they're just kind of making it up as they go along.
Yeah, I tell you what I thought did really work, though. They had a chorus, which they used to have in the old traditional Greek plays.
Yes, fact, there's a fact for you, listener.
Fact. I did a bit of Greek mythology at university. And they were very effective, I thought.
Yeah.
Every time they did their shiz.
They lifted it, didn't
yeah,
they?
Definitely.
And I have to be honest, I much preferred the second half to the first half.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'd kind of tuned in a little bit more, but it seemed like the story... Once they got down to hell, because the first half was kind of set in a bar, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And the second half, once they got down to Hadestown,
yeah.
it got much more interesting. And, you knew... we're not going to spoil the story if you don't know the story, but it's obvious... It's an obvious story. You should know the story.
Oh, not everybody knows all the stories.
Well, okay, all right. Well, if you don't know the story, it's a sad story.
Yeah, it's quite sad. A lot of them myths weren't they?
Yeah, and building towards that was quite good. But again, that last bit went on for about 5 minutes too long.
Oh yeah, it could have ended earlier. Couldn't it?
Oh, it could have ended about half an hour earlier, I think.
Yeah, faux show.
Full show. Okay. Was there any standout moments for you?
I like that song when they said they were going down to Hadestown.
I mean, some of the special effects were good. I mean, again, in the revolving stage, they also had like a trapdoor, didn't they? A lift, I suppose you call it. And they used that sometimes to good effect.
They did.
And then sometimes just over the top.
Just for no effect.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really was a bit hit and miss.
It was like a play of two halves. To use the footballer's term, I believe that's what they say.
Tell you what, shall we have a break and then we'll come back and score it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Right, so before we go into our scoring, we were in the Olivier Theatre at the National.
Yeah, we were.
We like the National, don't we?
Yeah, I do like the National.
Well, it's designed for people.
I feel like there was something that annoyed me, but I can't quite pick it out.
Yeah. Let me think, because we're kind of recording this a few days after we've seen it, because you have a much more exciting life than me.
I've been very busy.
Yeah, so I just have to get you wherever I can.
Yeah.
But thinking back, it was probably the audience that bothered us.
There was something, wasn't there? I can't remember what it was. Let's just.
We were right stuck in the middle.
We were right
that was
at the
it.
back.
No one would let us out.
Oh no, we had to climb over the seats.
Yeah, we had to climb over the seats.
It's very
anyway,
embarrassing.
But we were right at the back, but it was still a perfect view, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And very comfortable.
Yeah, but I do wonder if we'd have been a bit closer to it, if we'd have enjoyed it a bit more.
Like if we were sat on the stage.
If we were in the cars.
So if I was Eurydice and you were Orpheus. Is that the right way around?
No.
Well, the other way round. Oh, we should mention, before we carry on, the guy who played Hades.
Oh my God.
Who had the deepest voice in
He
the world.
had a really amazing voice. It was so deep, it was ridiculous. But he basically just stood there with his arms by his side and didn't really move much. He walked a little bit every now and again and then just stood there.
Because he could have really been a brilliant... He could have if he brought that to life, it'd have lifted it.
Yeah, but I can't imagine there's that many people that have voices that deep.
Do you know what, Vicky?
What?
I didn't really like any of them that much. I thought Hermes was all right.
Yeah.
But I was so disappointed because at the end, when they did the bows, Hermes brought on a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And they all had a little shot, and then they sang another song, which was awful. It wasn't like a really rousing. They should have just sung Hades Town again, in my opinion.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so we are going to score it. Vicky, I think it's your time to go first. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you for performances, please.
Okay, they were very hit and miss. Chorus really good. Hermes really good. I like Persephone. Not really that fussed about anybody else. So I'm going to go for a 7.
Okay. I like Persephone. I thought Hades was all right. I did like the chorus, and I did like. I actually liked the whole chorus.
Yeah.
You know, is that who you were talking about before?
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
No,
Yes.
I only like one of them.
I think I like the same one, the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've given it a 6 anyway. Staging and technical. Well, I thought the way the staging and technical was pretty impressive.
It was pretty good.
Bit over the top, but I've given it an 8.
I'd give it an 8 as well.
Oh, good. All right, narrative, plot, and music.
Well, it's a well-known narrative. They didn't do anything particularly new with it.
Well, they said it in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, they did that. The music was a bit hit and miss, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But some of the songs were really good, and some of them were a bit like meh. So I'm going to go for 7.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 5. The songs were just too hit and miss for me.
Okay.
And I just can't do anything about that.
Oh, well, that's-
Originality, I'm going to give it a 7. Because I did like certain bits of it.
Yeah, I'd go for a 7 as well on that.
Okay. And lastly, was it worth it?
I'm going to go for a 7.
And I'm going to go for a 6. All right. So, Vicky, while I add up these all-important scores, could you tell your listener what we're going to see next time?
Yes, we are going to see Caroline or Change, which originally was at the Hampstead Theatre and now it's gone West End, baby. So it's another musical. What a treat. 2 musicals in a row. So yeah, that's what's up next. Have you done the scores yet?
I have done the scores. And
Are your maths correct?
My maths are pretty good.
Okay.
Is pretty good. My English is terrible, but my maths is alright. Okay, so I can reveal that it gets a star rating of 3.4.
Okay.
Which places it number 2 on our leaderboard.
Of 2.
Of 2, yeah. So just below, quite below Wise Children, I suppose.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, like a whole 10 points? No, that's not 10 points.
Well, it's a massive... It's a whole star.
Yeah.
Since we've only got 5 stars, that's a big...
Yeah.
I think Hades Town is going to be at the bottom for a while.
Okay.
Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what's just happened.
What's just happened?
That damn theatre bell.
Oh my good lord.
Which means we're out of time.
That is a crying shame.
It's real. I can't talk.
Do you want to go to
The
bed?
devil's took my tongue.
Oh gosh.
Vicky, I think you should do it tonight.
Okay. So, the curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. Good night, Jim Bobs.
Oh, good night, Vix.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.